All right, guys, let's try this again. It's take two on a Monday, but then again, didn't we already know that it was going to be like that on a Monday? So, if you're listening, throw me a comment. Make sure that we got this mic running so that we can move forward. But guys, it's been an interesting 12 months. It's been an interesting 2 years. It's been an interesting life. I've been here for it's my 48th revolution around the Bright Rock in the center. And I got to tell you, something's always changing. But you know what I woke up to this morning that absolutely shocked me? Nothing. I saw that Bitcoin was down almost $10,000, right? There's all kinds of stuff going on in the world, a lot of stuff going on in the news. There's hurricanes, there's earthquakes, there's all kinds of stuff going on. But you know what I find to be interesting is how many people get sidelined by that. How many people get thrown under the bus? Their whole world gets mixed upside down because of something out there beyond their control that's happening. Something that nobody knows about or nobody has the ability to single-handedly change. There's a lot of reason to become involved in our community. And only a few of them have to point to the last 24 hours or the last 24 days or the last 24 months. A lot of them have to point with the fact that we're raising families in our communities, that we're growing old in our communities, that we're learning to do new things every day in our communities. And you know what, guys? It's that long-term vision that really saves you. So many people get focused on what's immediately surrounding them today. And I know that I'm guilty of that sometimes too, where I'm looking at it and it's Monday and I just got to get through Monday. And that's all I have to do is figure out how to survive Monday, when the reality truly isn't about just surviving Monday. It's about surviving life. And it's about planning ahead, and it's about dreaming big enough that it takes you your whole life to complete it. And when you get done with the end of this life, you still have a bunch of stuff on your list that you didn't check off. I had the opportunity to interview a lady last year, right before Thanksgiving. And, she liked the idea and proceeded with the concept of writing down so many things on her yearly to-do list that she never, ever got them all done, following along the lines of what somebody said about you'll completely overestimate what you'll get done in a year and entirely underestimate what you'll get done in 10 years. And I want you to look at that as far as where we live today. Where we're at today isn't great. I don't care who you are. But it's always been a lot of great mixed in with some not so great, mixed in with entirely your perspective. Throw on top of that some of your own personal circumstances, the neighborhood you live in, the family you grew up in, and there's a long list of things that change exactly what you see today versus the guy next to you. But the reality is, if your vision is long enough and if your planning is far enough in advance, you're not going to get thrown off. Another good example is to go back and look at the stock market from 1940 to now. And if you take a pencil and a ruler and go from where it was at the peak in 1940 to where it was at the peak yesterday or Friday, and draw a straight line, it doesn't look that bad. But you can change that by changing the perspective. You can change that by watching all the ups and downs and dips in between. You can change that thought process by looking so intricately at every single thing inside that up and down model that it gets dizzying, that it gets confusing, that it looks like there's so many mountains to climb and so many valleys to walk through. But the reality is, if you've got a big enough vision and you're looking far enough down the road, you don't get thrown off course that much. I liken it to a ship without a rudder. The bigger the rudder, the easier it is to steer the ship. But look at how big the rudder is in comparison to the ship. It's tiny. But yet it makes the whole ship move. And just like having a course plotted for your life and having a reality of where you want to go and the things that you want to accomplish in life, and focusing on those, not the external things around you that you really can't control, not the things going on in your stratosphere, but going on in your atmosphere, that are going on in your neighborhood. and looking at the things around you that you can totally grab a hold of, that you can totally be a part of, and that you can totally make sure get better. You know, it's kind of like anything in your life, but if you get carried away with focusing on what everybody else has got going on and what else is happening in the world around us, you're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to get sidelined. You're going to get chewed up. You're going to get spit out, and you're going to get off course. But if you will sit back, look at your life's goals, look at your life's needs, look at your life's wants, and chart a course, put so many things down on paper that you are so busy accomplishing what's going on in your life that you don't notice what the neighbors are doing down the street, that you don't notice what the other people in the cubicle are doing. You're too busy doing what you're doing. And I will challenge you that the more time you spend chasing after your goals, hopes, and dreams and worrying about you, your family, and your trajectory, and the less time you spend worrying about what's going on in Zimbabwe or Washington, D.C., not that you can ignore that stuff, but the more time you spend making change in your backyard, in your neighborhood, and focusing on what your long-term plan is, the better you're going to be at the end of that trajectory. The better off you're going to be when you're sitting down at the end of life's road, whatever that is, 17, at 75, at 160, whatever your span is, right? And looking back over it and going, you know what, I got done what I wanted to. I don't think too many of us are going to sit there and go, man, I really wish I could have squeezed in another hour of CNN or MSNBC or Fox or whatever it is. I wish we could have got another little bit of a glimpse of what the guys in Washington were doing. I don't think that's what anybody's going to say, but yet so often that's what's throwing our lives off. That's what's throwing us out of whack. That's what's getting us off course, and it's causing us to worry so much about what we cannot control that we're neglecting what's right in front of us that's totally within our reach, that's totally controllable. You know, I know that when I'm working on a project, what I'm faced with every day is controlling the controllable and dealing with it from there. And when we have those things nailed down, we can move forward. And when we don't, we can't. So the reality is, guys, take a handle on what you can control. Get your vision out there long enough that you're looking at the horizon, not at your shoes, not at the hood of your car, not at the stop sign. You're looking at the atlas and you're looking at where Charlotte, North Carolina is in relation to where you're at. And that's a long way down the road, and you're able to plan for that, but you're keeping your horizon out there, and you're not seeing the ups and downs and the bounces that are derailing a lot of people and getting people worked up and the anxiety levels going through the roof. So keep control of your perspective, guys. It's something I've been talking about for a year. Keep your perspective on the horizon and keep your perspective on your goals, and watch how your life is successful because you're chasing your dreams, not following your shoes. So guys, have a great week. It's a Monday. You've got, 5, maybe 6 more days of awesome? Go get it all. We'll talk to you later.